nowadays. I know for a fact and have been witness to all kinds of disrespect, both from males and females. But today we're going to ask ourselves, what is disrespect? Are people respectful within their relationships? And to help us out, we have Mr. Kweku Edumata with us in the studio. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Benny.
Is it doctor?
No, I'm a doctor.
Counselor. Counselor. I think we should add the doctor. Sir.
We just give it to you.
Here in the studio, we add accolades to people's titles very quickly. But welcome and thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Okay, before we get into the discussion, I want to say a big thank you to Lipton Tea. Lipton Tea, join the journey of refreshment and vitality. The world's favorite hot brand tea will give you the needed level of alertness to start your day. So take another look at your day and begin with a cup of Lipton for natural refreshment in mind and body. Lipton Tea, inspiration flowing from nature. And I see you guys have your filled tea. My one's empty. they didn't fill my cup, so please, you people, next time, give me my tea.
Exposure.
Thank you, Counselor.
All right, Counselor. They say communication is the basis of all relationships, whether it's business, emotional, physical. But then if a person is communicating to you, express, categorically that they don't respect you, then doesn't that break down the whole relationship? The reason I say so is because we hear conversations every day. A woman will tell her husband, "Only they are a useless man. He hasn't done anything for me." Another man can also turn around and say to his wife, "You cry, you're useless. I don't even know why I married you. I've come home, there's no food on the table." I mean, these are all little things that add to whether there is actual respect or disrespect in a relationship, right?
Right. Fine. Benny, thank you so much. But let me pick it from a source, and that is the Bible. When you read Ephesians, before the responsibility were given to a wife and a husband, there was a strap line: submission. 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 Here, I'm not talking about fear. Now, let me take two examples in the Bible. When Joseph had the call that he should leave where he is with Mary to another place, Mary never asked Joseph, "Where are we going?
Where are we going to stay?
Where are we going to stay?
Do they have a four-star
Do
hotel?
they have that?" Those kind of questions.
Yeah.
Mary did not. The second one was Sarah and Abraham. When Abraham was entering into Abimelech, okay, he said, "That is my sister." Sarah did not ask, "Why you saying I'm your sister?" Now, with these two scenarios, submission is the core. Now, here I'm not saying that the woman alone should submit. He says we should submit to one another.
Right.
So you and I, let's say the two of you are couples. The two of you must submit.
We look pretty good together.
Now, submission here means you give out totally. Whether I have or I do not have, I must listen. I must be there. I must have it.
Interject. Go on.
Okay, all right, see, this whole word of submission, I do feel like sometimes a lot of people misunderstand it or misconstrue it. I mean, I think a lot of times you hear in relationship,
exactly.
It's really overused, I think, in our society. But is there a notion in Ghanaian society that a lot of males feel that the woman should respect him, but he's the man?
I think it's a general African thing.
Right.
Africa,
You know, when you study, we also made mention of respect. Respect is interpretation of how submissive you are.
Right.
I must give a concluding thought as to what you're doing, being respect. You know, at times some men say, "Unim kasa." Another woman will say, you don't give me space.
Yeah.
What is it? It means one is not prepared to, as it were, be a little bit low. And then listen, raise up the head. So because it must be, going up and down.
So it's our interpretation as well.
Yes, it's our
because
interpretation.
there might not be the intent of disrespect.
No.
But literally just the context of the wording. That we take it as that.
When a woman becomes a little bit pushed, the whole system is to fight back. So you come to realize that the words that comes are piercing.
Oh yeah.
And then if your intent was not to exhibit that, you will see it as you don't respect me. Look at the way you're talking to me. And that is interpretation you're giving. And that here, it means that Amma here does not submit. Because before Amma will start ranting, must first of all ask, who am I doing this to?
And what provoked her?
What provoked her? But again, if you're looking at what provoked her, then you're looking at it more of emotional. But if you're looking at it in terms of how we are in relationship, how the marriage looks like, then we need to think twice. I always say that when you are angry, raise up your hand.
What is this thing? Obviously, there's this famous book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. So essentially, the whole idea is when it comes to communication, we clash because men, they operate different from women. Like, for example, I mean, and I'm sure most women can attest to, maybe you get in an argument with your boyfriend or your husband, and you expect him to know exactly what he did. And maybe he's just like, he doesn't know. Also vice versa. Like, how best, because I think a lot of times communication is always key. How does one broach up the subject? Especially, you don't respect, and then it escalates and escalates and escalates into something bigger.
In the mix of anger, in the mix of quarrel, you don't solve issues. We should cool down. We should settle as if nothing has happened. Okay? And this one, you need guts. Because you see, emotion has been touched. And you needed to react to, as it were, justify yourself. In relationship, in marriage, almost everybody wants to justify that I'm the right person. Nobody's wrong. But again, if we still link up with the submission, then somebody somewhere must be quiet. If you become quiet, then you start trying to look for the appropriate time, the appropriate words to use.
What if you're like me and being quiet is very hard?
You will be. You should be. You see, we will have problems when you always say, that is the way I am.
Okay.
I have grown with it all these years. I can't change. But hey, you are too. You're actually pathing a journey. And so why wouldn't you drop it? Even in the Bible says that you leave. So why wouldn't you leave? Why are we always carrying what we used to be into that thing? It's going to be kind of difficult.
My brother told me one thing when I was a lot younger. I think when I had my first broken heart.
No.
It was so terrible. Your heart was broken.
But anyway, let's continue. Now, he said to me, and I've meditated on this and I've actually thought about this a lot. Now, he said to me that, let me give you a scenario. You're a man. Yeah. You're about to go rob a bank, right? Now, these are the kind of 3 women that you could possibly have in your life.
Okay.
Because the first one would tell you, go and rob the bank.
Okay.
Bring the money, let's chop.
Yeah.
Second one would say, oh, don't go, it's too dangerous.
That's right.
Third one would say, be careful. He said it's the third one that you want to go for. Because she's basically taken whatever it is, whether you're doing wrong or right, she's basically said, I've got your back.
Sure.
And I'm coming with you along your journey.
That is it. And any man that gets a type of a woman like that, the love that the Bible says a man must love will come.
I'm looking for number 3.
It will come.
Number 3,
Be careful.
No,
Be
it will
careful.
come.
Be careful.
We see when we realize that this woman I have is always tracking me, is always interested in what I do. She will go extra mile to make things right, even if in my demerits, all right, in my mistakes, you will still be there to, as it were, front me. That is what every man is looking for.
Okay, Cancer, let me ask you, I mean, like a typical scenario of maybe a woman or a man disrespecting his spouse, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, wife, husband, in front of friends. Because, it happens. There's times where maybe in company, an argument over spilled, and I've been witness to it. Where so something like, hey, you've seen, and the man can really disrespect the woman, and vice versa. In situations like that, how within the relationship do you come together if you've been disrespected as a man, especially in front of your friends or in front of your peers? Like, because there's a pride thing involved. How do you then go back to your woman and humble yourself to build or to continue building your relationship?
You've muddied the waters.
Sorry, give me 1 second, just before you do answer that question. Just to let you know that we're opening the phone lines right now. Phone number is on your screen if you want to ask us a question or ask Mr. Edumata a question this morning in regards to our topic.
You have already muddied the waters. You one at time said, this is my woman. Now in the midst of the friends, you have actually downgraded the woman. At the end of the day, who is in question here? Is the man. The friends are going to look at you differently. The friends will sympathize with you all right. But the man has lost some kind of dignity. You don't do these things in the midst of people. That is why a good man will say, let's get into the room. Let's get inside. Or let's go somewhere. Or a good man will say, I am quiet, I'm not talking, let's get into the car. We'll roll up, we'll do the talking. Anytime these things happens, please, the people around are watching. People around are watching. And they will give their own interpretation to it.
Yeah, if you they're not part of the relationship, so who cares what they think?
But
it's very important.
You're arguing in front of your friends, if you're disrespecting your man or your woman in front of friends, or you have an outburst, in a way you've given them eyeballs to your situation.
Exactly.
I understand that part, but at the end of the day, when we go home and we have our argument, we settle everything, it's us, it's not them.
The picture is out there, Benny. The picture is out there. So next time when you come back and say a lot of things about Amma to me, how serious would I take you? You've already messed it up.
True.
And the people around, even the kids, will say, and that's not fair. You do all that.
Yeah.
And that will be a mark. It's very difficult to erase. So before you raise your hand, before you raise your voice, check who are there? Who is watching me?
What are you saying?
Don't let emotions. See, now we've come to a point where emotions now have taken almost everything that we do. But who controls emotions? It's myself.
But the funny thing is, the culture nowadays is to do that public display of embarrassment. You'll find a woman or a man get into that situation.
Horrible.
If you do now, do I go embarrass you in front of everybody? Then you see, then they wait for the most inappropriate, but in their eyes, appropriate moment.
That's horrible.
To publicly embarrass you.
It's horrible. I witnessed one. I literally ought to pull my car up, parked, and go and talk to the guy. Why do you do that? If this woman is your sister, biological sister, would you do that?
Wow.
Because you're supposed to laugh.
We're going to the phone lines right now. We've got Prince from Kumasi. Good morning, Prince. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, Prince. How are you?
I'm fine. What about you two?
Fine, thank you ever so much, sir. What's your question for us this morning? Or contribution?
I want to ask this. If you are with a lady in a compound house, and this lady will do things that will disgrace you, and maybe you have talked about it in the room several times, and she's still doing it. I mean, doing things that would disgrace you to the extent that maybe sometimes if you are going out, you feel shy to go out. And you said I should still cool my temper, talk to her in the room while she's doing it. It will get to a time you won't have that patience, and then you will react. But sometimes if it happens like that, the ladies will say that the men don't have this thing. But it's not the men's fault. It's the ladies. They will misbehave to the extent that you can't control yourself. And you come out and say something. And later, if maybe something happens, they will say, men, that's how they are. It's not like that. So please, the ladies should know that if you are doing something, especially if you are in a compound house, and you are doing something, know that if even your man will not say something about it, that people are watching you. So don't do things that your man will talk and then later you say that the man has a quick temper or something like that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you ever so much, Prince.
I really appreciate his point. In the compound house, you see, even the way you walk, somebody's calculating it.
They hear you as soon as you open your door.
And then somebody will peep.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? They are interested.
Nosy neighbors.
Exactly. They are interested. So that is where we ought to be very sensitive. That yes, we are in this room, but whatever we say in this room need not come out. If you want anything, please don't let us discuss this. The understanding must be there. And that's what we started by saying submission. If you know that, look, that's all how we can go into compound, time will change. But where you keep telling me that, look, why can't we move? The moment a woman, no, I'm not trying to generalize, but at that level, a woman goes a little bit up and the man is a bit low. That is where you see that a woman will always crave for attention in that compound house. But at the end of the day, what picture are you painting?
He made a point though about, sometimes it's not the men's fault and the woman is pushing and pushing and pushing. So if the woman is pushing and pushing and pushing, is the man now justified to disrespect her?
No.
I think that's the point, because some people feel like if a woman is in your face shouting, then maybe you can knock her one.
Yes.
That doesn't make you a man.
You see, that, of course, that does not make you a man. But in the Bible, we are said that we are told that we are the head. Now, how can the head rebuke the tail? Okay, let me put it that way. So it's a bit difficult. I mean, standing there for a woman to, as it were, insult you.
Emasculate. I'm going to cut your face. We got a call from Koforidua this morning. Good morning. How are you? Apparently we've lost the call.
Right. So what I was saying is that this man, but one of the things you can do is that either you leave the scene, just walk away, or you clench your teeth and not talking. Two things. But the more you are there witnessing, your heart will beat. And you see, when your heart beats and it goes to your mind, your hand must actually go. So you leave the scene.
All right, we've got Mamia from Kumasi on the line. Mamia, good morning. Hello.
Please, I want to ask if there's a guy, okay, you're in a relationship with him, he doesn't call you, he doesn't, like, he doesn't care whether you are there or you're not there, he's okay. What kind of a relationship is that? And there's another one. There's this married people, okay. The lady is always disturbing the man when the man is in difficulties. It's not good. To me, when you see those things, it hurts so much. And I really need advice for the person. I really need advice.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. First and foremost, if sister girl, let me do my American accent. If you're in a relationship with a man, he's not calling up on you, he's not checking up on you. I think you doesn't care. You're probably in a relationship with yourself. I don't know what you have to look at what you're gaining.
Well, with this one, I would say expectation sort of is being quashed.
Yes.
But try and also make a move by also calling, and then find out the responses that comes out of the call. If the person is really ready to speak, you will detect it. Okay, if the person is a bit busy, you will know. So if the man is not calling, it means that there's a reason. And asking why you're not calling, why you're not calling.
Maybe this man has another relationship, or maybe it depends what the situation is.
This is a thought. You're just giving a thought.
Variables.
You know, yes, trying to make it sound that is something that you're thinking, and it's a bit dangerous because when you have that negative thought in your mind, you will, as it were, act in that vein. You definitely will act because, see, I assume that you're not calling me because there's another woman there. Okay.
See, I'm such a woman. You see how my mind just went?
Yeah,
my
exactly.
mind, that's what women will do.
Exactly. And you need to control that.
In fact, I'll control it.
You need to control it because why wouldn't you look at it and say, oh, he's a bit busy, he's working, let me just pray or let me just do something for him. I mean, some positive. I need to work. The moment we start thinking negative will come. All right? And then the other one, he said,
that one I actually felt bad for the one what she was saying.
When you are actually witnessing somebody being abused, and then the woman actually defends the man as well. On top of it all,
the man is defending.
No, the woman defends the man after being abused.
After
by
beating.
the man.
Oh, that is a woman who have given everything to the man. All right, but it's a bit sad that after beating something you call cherishing, and then seeing bruises, and at the end of the day, the woman comes back apologizing, and you take the woman. Who are you as a man?
Repetitive. Okay, we're going back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Joshua calling from Bolivia.
Hi, Joshua. What's your question or your comment this morning?
I want to contribute to the caller who just called right now.
Sure.
She said there are some guys who don't like calling, and they doesn't even care about about the girl. Mm-hmm. What I want to say is that most boys, it's not the fault, but the feeling that the person always has in the absence of the other partner. It's not the matter of fault. Some people, they have that character of not calling people. And you cannot use that one to just guide that the person doesn't care about you. So the way you feel whether the person cares about you is when you are with that person. The way the person always behaves will tell you whether the person cares about you or not. So what I have to contribute to
That's actually a very valid
point.
Thank you very much. Because I found that, thank you very much for that, by the way.
Thank you very much.
I found that, I mean, in the industry that we work in, I talk a lot.
That's right.
When I was on radio, 4 hours in the morning,
That's right.
I'm on talking to myself in a room, blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
Now, when I come out of that, I don't really want to talk.
That's right.
right? So when somebody gives me a call and they give me a phone call and I was like, yeah, hi, all right, great, fine. It's very short, because I'm not in the mood to talk. That's just me. That's been misinterpreted.
You know, like let's say Amma should understand that, hey, this is the nature of my guy. This is the nature of my husband. So let me just let him cool down a little bit. And again, you do the calling when you come back to yourself. Hey, how's Amma doing?
I talk for a living, so I can talk.
Exactly.
Just I don't feel like
so you see, so you need to understand the dynamics of your man, of your woman. If you don't, forget it.
All right. I believe we've got our last phone caller on the line at the moment. Good morning.
Okay, I'm with this lady. She's not working, but she has been helping her aunties and her uncles out at home, washing and all those things. But sometimes it's difficult. If I call her, she doesn't pick, and anytime I feel like maybe, okay, I understand she's busy, sometimes busy, but at least 30 seconds, to just pick my call and tell me, oh, this and this, so I'm doing this, so if you close or if you finish with what you are doing, call me and but she doesn't call, and anytime I call back, she's busy. But you see on her profile, WhatsApp, that she has been WhatsApping with people and all these things. But I don't know. WhatsApping is not a problem, but just calling or finding out what's wrong, what's going on with me. She doesn't care. And anytime she picks the call, then small problem, she becomes annoying. Always, I don't feel her presence. I don't feel what is wrong with her. I don't understand.
That's a good point. If I'm calling you, you're not picking, and I check on WhatsApp and realize you were sending messages 5 minutes ago, again I come back 5 minutes, then it means you're avoiding. It's miscommunication. So why can't you just let the person know? You mentioned that thing of if you know your partner or your spouse's timetable, knowing that, okay, fine, communicate that maybe he's come off radio at this point, he doesn't want to talk. That is different. But a lot of times people's mind would wonder whether you're male or female. If you're calling, at least you'll probably be worried. So if you say, look, I'm really busy right now, I can't talk to you, please, I'll call you back in 2 hours.
It's fine.
That can help solve a lot of problems.
That is the best way. But Amma, let me ask, when these mobile phones were not there, what was relationship marriage like? What was it? Must I always be expecting call for you?
But you know, the relationships of today are they're not even possible without these mobile phone communications.
It means that we've been driven by these things and not really appreciating what we are in for.
Social media is the break.
We used to write letters.
People don't write letters
and you could actually learn. And then we used to ask what is the difference in the village.
We
meet somewhere and discuss issues.
Yeah.
And when you meet, you talk about, when we grow up, what do we do? These were incisive. Now, you are assuming that I am online. But the thing is 24-hour connected internet. So definitely to be that.
Auto-syncing.
So why are you reading that interpretation to it? You will kill yourself. So you become disillusioned.
Just last words on respect, because we're just almost run out of time. But just what advice would you give to people in marriages, just relationships, and how to respect each other?
You see, you can't go into a relationship because you go into that relationship on the basis that we will marry. All right. Now, from the relationship, if we do not, I will use the word submit, because submit is the difficult thing, both of us. And then the interpretation of what we are doing in terms of submitting will become respect. It will come naturally. So you don't say you don't respect me. You don't use that word. Okay? No, we don't say that. The act of submitting yourself will come in the form of that.
Is it then like leading by example? So if I want you to respect me, I in turn have to respect you, and vice versa.
But, okay, and then of course the love. It's not about the man alone that must do. The man prime work is to love like yourself. So if I love myself, I should be able to love you. That is why every man will go extra, even if they don't have, they will try to do. Okay? But we need to be very sensitive on this one. This thing called respect is killing both relationship and marriages.
And so is social media.
Yes.
So it is. Okay? And then we should minimize our level of expectation.
Yeah.
And then we shouldn't breed in competition.
You know, I blame the Spanish and Latin American soaps. That's what people are watching.
You see, giving you a picture thinking that it's
and
real.
they want that romance.
You see,
Meals and
it
booze
will
on
work.
wheels, steroids. Don't get me started.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you ever so much, Mr. Kirkwood Martin, for coming in this morning. And, we were talking a little bit more about respect.
I actually learned a lot. Thank you.